Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Esports Network for this, the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. We're here at the Nurburgring in Germany. Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath in the commentary box with Sam Kumo on the cameras. And Adam, well, at the Nurburgring, you've been having flashbacks to this circuit from the 24 hours, but today it's the GP layout.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to pretty much tell you off the top of our heads what gears you need to be in for every single corner around this circuit. We drove around it so many times, but yeah, it's good to be back. We've had a week off. We've recharged the batteries and getting set to go around probably one of the most tough circuits that we're going to go to all season. Really, just over 5 kilometers in length, nestled in the forests of Germany. We've been there a couple of times for the Sim Racing Expo, and yeah, 3 20-minute races around this circuit. I think it should suit these Audi touring cars well, so I'm expecting three thrilling races.
Yeah, it's a wonderful part of the world. Lovely place. We've been lucky enough to be there a few times, and a great circuit as well. Jack Sedgwick leads the way in the championship in the pro category by 86 points over Jason Cooper. Pete Harrods in third, just 4 points behind. Then it's Ben Palmer, Ross Balfour in fifth, Jake Blackwell sixth, Jamie Rushworth seventh, then Ross McFarlane, then Josh Thompson, and then Adam Hadfield is in 10th. Reigning champion Wojciech Svidovic down in 18th place. In the Pro-Am category, it's Luke Cooper leading the way. We haven't got the points sadly, but Luke Cooper leads the way ahead of Mark Johnston. Then it's Adam Hedgecock. No, it's not. That can't be right. That's not correct at all. So we've got that. I was thinking Frederick Nichol hadn't been in the series.
I do have them on to hand rather than on the screen if you want to.
Hey, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, this is slick. Luke Cooper leads the way. Then it's Simon Field. Then Adam Hedgecock, Matt Bunn, Mark Woodhouse, and then Rob Sutherland, Mark Johnston, Lee Berridge, both on the same number of points in 7th. And then 9th, Pete Newman, and 10th, John Roberts. The team standings, do we have them? It's CQR Club leading the way. They're 134 points out of CQR Pure Sims. Then Automech in 3rd place. And they're only 13 points away from 14 points away from CQR Pure Sims in 2nd. So I've got to say, loads of marks to Automech for how they've gone about this season. Apex Racing Team in 4th, and then Craig Setup Shop in 5th. And in the AMS Teams Championship, it's Boosted Sim Sport and Boosted Motorsport, 196 points between them. And then Simtech, CQR Sim Sports, Team Mad, Automech, and then Hesketh Racing in 7th with 0 points.
Yeah, we'll have to say hello to everybody on the YouTube chat as well today, and on Facebook at the moment. So we'll say hello on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, and of course the iRacing Esports Network. So good evening. Good evening. And who will it be a good evening for, Adam? I wonder. Could it be for Ash Sutton?
Well, looking at the qualifying standings, he's got himself in a good position at the moment, hasn't he? Starting in 3rd as things stand, and we haven't got too long to go in the qualifying session. So at best, he's got about 1 run left if he wants to be on pole position. We'll tell you what, we've got some very quick drivers in the top 3. Jack Sedgwick, Josh Thompson, and Ash Sutton, all very quick around here. And then you've got the drivers that have proven themselves immensely in the first part of the season. Damien Harris, Jason Cooper, Michael Evdoka for TechSense Fitstar Motorsport, and then Pete Newman, who's doing very well in the AM category, Adam Hadfield, Ross McFarlane, and George Simmons completing the top 10. So that is a very tasty looking top 10 of drivers. And they've got to start thinking about the showdown just a little bit, because this is round 7 of the regular season. After that, we've only got Sonoma, Lime Rock Park, and the Glen. And then we're into the showdown. So 3 more race meetings after this, and then we reset the points.
Yeah, we're looking at Damien Harris, who's currently sat in 4th position. And he is appears to be in a fiercely forward car now. So Harris showing good mettle to be up in the top 5. Jason Cooper in 5th, as we see. They're only a couple of hundreds behind. But yeah, the showdown looms, Adam, and well, we've seen how that can turn around when we get there in the past.
Oh yeah, and you're right, your championship could just be eliminated by a wreck as big as what we saw at Brands Hatch 2 weeks ago. So hopefully they don't get involved in any of that. And tell you what, the guys are like racing and qualifying at the moment as Jack Sedgwick comes under pressure going into the chicane.
Or the one we had at Road America a few weeks ago as well, where the safety car was called for, wasn't it? So
oh yeah.
Yeah, we had 3 safety cars in the World GT Championship on Monday night, so yeah, I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. It probably shouldn't happen here. The barriers are far enough away from the circuit. It is the full GP layout, so we are using the arena section, which I'm very happy about, that we don't have that stupid chicane on the endurance layout, which is probably the worst corner, apart from John Cleland's favourite in Oschersleben, also in Germany. What is it with the Germans and bad hairpin corners? We'll see what see there. If you want to, don't at me about that one.
All right.
We've also got one of the best hairpins at Hockenheim, but there you go.
Got a few good hairpins here, haven't we? We've got the hairpin going into the arena section at the beginning of the lap, and then the Dunlop curve at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, the only other change from the endurance layout, there's actually 3 changes. Yeah, it's turn 1, the arena section, and then it's we're using what I know as the VDOL S. I think it's called something else now. I can't remember, NGK chicane or something. But we're using the tighter one, which I'll forever know as the VDOL. But yeah, that's a good overtaking opportunity into there. It's one of the heaviest braking zones on the circuit. I think it's a good decision, Adam, for them to use that chicane, because the other one, it's probably too fast for anyone to get alongside each other there.
Yeah, we've tried the different combinations over the years, haven't we? We've had the quicker chicanes there, which we've used the quicker chicane, which is lethal for slowdown penalties. I remember quite a few drivers getting that a couple of years ago, and we've used the one we're using today. And yeah, you're right, this one will obviously produce more overtaking opportunities, and we're coming up to it now. Not with Adam Hadfield, we're just coming up to the chicane now, so you'll get to see it just a little bit more. Hard on the brakes just before the 50-meter ball, it looks like. Down through the gearbox. Slamming it. Yeah, definitely. And up to the final corner, Ross McFarlane's just put in a very late lap to push Ash Sutton down to 4th through the final corner. Then the Coca-Cola curve, I think it's still called.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of Hadfield going for the line, is it going to be an improvement on his 9th starting position? It doesn't look like it.
I don't know if he ran out of fuel. He was going quite slowly coming across the line. Pete Newman goes 5th on 208.015. So it might be the case of last man over the line type thing here. Pete Harrod goes 12th, just ahead of Ben Palmer and their teammates in CQR Club. And is there anyone else still out there on a fast lap? It looks like Nathan Davies, and I imagine that's Mark Johnston, is it? Just behind?
It would be, yes. Unmistakable livery there, Mark Johnston.
Lock up your mothers, daughters, whoever, essentially, with these two about. There you go. As Davies into the chicane ahead, we're providing a good slipstream for Mark Johnston into the final corner and across the line. It's going to be good laps from Davies. Actually, he's won a race this season, hasn't he? 24th. It's going to be. Johnston's fractionally quicker, 23rd. So I'm sure the banter will continue between those. Tyler Vickery's on a lap as well. It looks like he might be the very last person across the line as he comes into the final corner. Indeed he is. And the American currently in 35th place, the last of the qualifiers. He has set a couple of personal best sectors, and that could be important for him. See if he can get ahead of Mats Borger Anderson. Across the line he comes. Vickery doesn't improve amazingly, so maybe the first couple of sectors weren't much cop, but Tyler will be hoping he can move forward in the race. So that's qualifying over with, Adam, and sets up a very, very close-looking field, especially at the very front. Maybe the first sort of 4 or 5 rows, very close together.
Yeah, there's about a second covering the top. I'd say the top dozen almost, really. That's how close it is. Maybe even more than that.
17 actually within a second. Yeah, amazing.
Hopefully it sets us up for a good one here. Obviously a bit of a contrast to where we were last time out at Brands Hatch 2 weeks ago. Track a bit narrow, very quick corners, so there wasn't too much in the way of overtaking opportunities. Here at the Nurburgring, it's a GP circuit, so it's a former GP circuit. It's been 7 years since the final German Grand Prix was held here. A bit wider, and definitely a few more overtaking spots. We've been touching on them during the qualifying session. I'm just wondering who we're waiting on. Is it Kip that we're waiting on? Even though
Most likely.
I think he's putting in a very late lap potentially. Yes, maybe not actually. The session's now finished. So we can now run you through the grid. There we go, it's on your screen now. Jack Sedgwick starts on the pole position. Josh Thompson in second, just over a tenth of a second behind him. Ross McFarlane in third, pipping Ash Sutton at the death really to steal third. Pete Newman, top AM driver, up in the top 5 overall. That's a solid performance from him. And 4 thousandths of a second behind in sixth is Damien Harris. Jason Cooper in seventh, then it's Michael Evdoka in eighth, and completing the top 10, Adam Hadfield and Dave Baker. Top 10 covered by less than half a second. And George Simmons, 11th, 12th for Pete Harrod in the CQR Club car, 13th for Ben Palmer, then Mark Woodhouse in 14th. Tim Stabani, the local driver, starting in P15, 16th for Luke Cooper, the AM points leader. Then it's Craig Williams, Jamie Rushworth, just over a second behind. Then Adam Hedgecock, Lee Berridge there in 20th. 21st place, Brad McNally, Sean Gardner in 22nd, Mark Johnston in 23rd, and Nathan Davis. We saw those two lapping together, starting in 24th place. 25th, Jack Stiles, Paolo Preto, the first of the South American contingent in 26th. Then it's David Von Breck, Tim Greven, John Roberts, and then Michael Blake rounding out the top 30. And it's Rob Jackson, Bram Clace, Rob Sutherland, Matt Sporger, then Tyler Vickery, the last car to set a time. And then it's the cars that didn't, and some big names in here. Watch out for them fighting their way through the field. It's Ross Balfour, Wojciech Savidovic, then Kip Stevens, Kevin Carlisle, Matt Bunn, Scott Malcolm, and starting right at the back in 43rd on the back row, all by himself, it is Rob Graham.
Well done, Adam, as usual, for getting through all those cars. Yeah, Jack Sedgwick in a really good position. This could be an absolute barn burner given the people that are at the front of the field. And let's see, the starts in these cars are quite strange because nobody revs the engine at all because it's not beneficial to rev the engine prior to the start. So the red light's coming on, and listen. Very little noise out there. But it's about to erupt into life now. The lights are off. The race is on at the Nurburgring. It's a terrific start by Ross McFarlane. He's surely going to go around, attempt to take the lead here into turn one on Jack Sedgwick. How late can he break McFarlane, the Scotsman? Trying to go around the outside into the arena section, Adam, and I think he might have got it done.
Let's have a look. Up the inside he goes. The corner should go in his favour, as should the next one. And Ross McFarlane from third on the grid should take the lead up the inside into turn 3. And he has. He's got a margin and he's clear. So fantastic start.
Absolutely amazing start there by Ross McFarlane. He needs that one. Thompson's dropped down behind Ash Sutton. So Sutton ahead of Thompson then. Thompson, who's just signed for Williams Esports. His career going well. Harris is in 5th. Newman is 6th. Jason Cooper has dropped down a fair bit actually from where he started. 1 or 2 places there for him, and now Harris is getting involved with the top 4, and so is Newman, and so is Jason Cooper. And up the inside into the Dunlop curve then goes Josh Thompson on Ash. That's Ash Sutton on Josh Thompson.
Oh, the two Williams teammates, if Sutton's joined the Williams ranks, so they should know each other pretty well, but that's not stopping them getting their elbows out any early going here, and there's a mammoth queue behind them. It's one of the longest snakes I've seen all season. Cracking
first lap, because it was a very clean first lap. Exceptionally well done by all. Nobody, as you can see on the track map, nobody has been cut adrift from this field. And look at this, this is an unbelievable sight. Anybody new to sim racing, anyone new to the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, well, this is what it's all about. We're going to see a wide shot, I'm sure, in a moment. And just look at this gaggle, and that is a gaggle, Adam, for sure. Up into Vidal then, and that's Hadfield, I think, defending the inside from I have no idea actually who it was. It might have been Evdoka actually. It might have been Cooper defending from Evdoka. And the 3 wide in the Coca-Cola curve, Adam.
Oh, well, I thought someone was going to hit that inside pit barrier then, as they came through the final
been done,
corner.
hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I've done that many times. Over the line then, first up in the books. And this battle here on our screens, we've got Stabani, who we're on board with. And it's Ben Palmer in front there. Mark Woodhouse up the inside of Craig Williams.
That's a late one from Woodhouse.
Oh, yeah.
That's a late one. Did he hit Williams? I don't know, but Woodhouse has moved across. Stabani's trying to take evasive action. He's now going 3 wide with Ben Palmer. Palmer's on the inside, Woodhouse and car 83 on the outside. And the yellow car of Ben Palmer looks like he's got in front. Oh, I think he could have got in front there, Adam. He could have chopped across. I think he was momentarily clear. It was a tough call, though, and he makes the discretionary choice.
Ben Palmer using. Jack Sedgwick has taken the lead away from Ross McFarlane. You can see it there. You've got visual confirmation that Jack Sedgwick is back in front of Ross McFarlane. So I wonder whereabouts that took place to get the Apex Racing Team car back ahead of the Texense Fitstime Motorsport car.
So we'll be able to see it at some point. I want to see if McFarlane can challenge through the Schumacher S and then up towards the Michelin curve, which is coming up. Let's see it then. It's into turn 1, Adam, I believe.
Yeah, he's already ahead. Yeah, you might be able to see it better than me. Looks like
the inside, and he dives late on the brakes, goes right to the inside, and just clears him. So McFarlane didn't get very good drive on the outside line, and that meant that Jack Sedgwick was able to stay clear of the Texense Fitstime Motorsport car. So Sedgwick leads the way then on lap 2. So going to the NJK chicane, and he gets much better drive through there than McFarlane did. Look at that again. Gained a good 2 or 3 tenths just in that one corner.
Quite a lot. Yeah, 3/4 of a second. The gap almost now between those two. Coming for the final corner now. Onto the pit straight. Ash Sutton. Watch out for him. I reckon this could be a pretty quick lap by the former BTCC champion as they come across the line. Fastest lap of the race by Damien Harris. 2:08.420. Sutton was quicker than the top 2 in front of him, and just behind Harris, that is Josh Thompson and Pete Newman having a battle. Pro versus Pro-Am.
Harris had a bit of slipstream from Sutton then, it looked like, but it was still a very, very quick lap nonetheless. Thompson trying to stay out of the clutches of Pete Newman, then, who's having a really good start to this race. He's trying to recover actually. He dropped down from 5th on the grid. George Simmons was shown running wide. Craig Williams has gained 7 positions from where he started. Also to note that Wojciech Svidovic has gained a lot of places as well. He only started in 37th place.
Oh yeah, he's up to 23rd. In a minute, he's going to be appearing on the timing tower on the left-hand side of your screen if he keeps going at that rate. Fantastic scrap here between Michael Evdoka, Jason Cooper, and Dave Baker as well, who had a good race meeting, if I remember, at Brands Hatch a couple of weeks ago.
Terrific circuit for racing, this one. And Baker trying the outside into Dunlop curve. Oh, bang! Take that, he says. Jason Cooper. That was quite a sizable hit there, Adam. And I wonder if Baker's car is going to be okay.
Looks like it. These TCR cars are pretty strong, even with the new damage model. These cars seem to take a beating, of course, and are able to carry on. Looks like things were kicking off in the background there between the likes of Williams, Simmons, and Palmer. Fantastic scrap this for a spot in the top 10.
Yeah, it's a great battle this. Williams, Simmons, Palmer, Hadfield, separated by just inches really.
Oh dear. 2 cars off. That's Luke Cooper and that's Mark Woodhouse just coming back onto the circuit. So problems for those two. And that's Wojciech Svidovic through into 21st place, and Ross Balfour is following him through as well. Those two started at the back and they're both flying through the field together.
Yeah, do we have any retirements so far? Well, I think it's just one. Looks like Scott Malcolm's out of the race. Mark Johnson's had an incident as well. It looks like on the timing screen at least. Harris sets another fastest lap then. McFarlane and Sutton going quicker at him, but invalidated.
Yeah, and of course invalidated means that if you do go off at any point on your lap, whether it be in qualifying or in the race, your lap time gets invalidated. It's more important in qualifying, of course, because that means it doesn't count, as Jamie Rushworth nearly gets hit by the reigning champion Wojciech Svidovic. It looked like that Jamie in the CQR Pure Sims car with the purple mirrors was serving a slowdown penalty on the front straight, and he nearly got hung out to dry by all those guys coming up behind him.
Which can so often happen in the ARLTCR with so many drivers involved in this series. You can get freight trained just a bit like you could on a super speedway on an oval. Get out of line just once, make one mistake. Nathan Davies goes wide then, and he's been passed by Wojciech Svidovic. So And Ross Balfour also making a great bit of headway up the field, Adam. He started in 36th place and he's up to 21st.
Could make it up another place here, up into the Dunlop curve. There is Ross Balfour at the inside of Nathan Davies. We know that he is a solid defender, but he's going to be forced to yield here as Apex and CQR Pure Sim's going to battle now just in front of him. That's Savidovic versus Jamie Rushworth. These two know each other pretty well. They're probably two of the most experienced touring car racers on iRacing. Rushworth won the ARLTC title in the Kia Optima a couple of years ago. Wojciech Savidovic has won many titles in the Kia. Oh, he's trying to get a title in the Audi as they nearly come to blows.
Yeah, I think he made a little bit of contact with Rushworth. Not reigning champion Wojciech Savidovic. He's won 6 of these titles in 2 different cars. And he's now got a great slipstream. Oh, Rushworth defends. I thought he defended all the way to the white line. Turns out even that wasn't enough. Savidovic up the inside. He's not too late on the brakes, though. He just leave the door open for Rushworth to go side by side through the NGK chicane. Great stuff.
Fantastic stuff between two champions. Up the inside goes Jamie Rushworth, desperately trying to hold on to his positions. The digital numbers in the windows are the positions they were in when they started the lap. Rushworth was in 17th, Wojciech was in 20th. Over the line they go now. It's Savidovic up to 18th. And Jamie Rushworth has lost 2 places on that last lap, down to 19th, and it could get worse as here comes Ross Balfour.
Yeah, and Dave Baker set the fastest lap on that time around. He's in 9th place at the moment, but we're still looking at this one between Balfour and Rushworth. Nathan Davies is involved in this as well. He's won a few races over the years in this Thursday night league. Luke Cooper is behind him, and Davies trying to take advantage of Balfour.
God, just seeing in
he's
that one
taking the wrong line there, I think. Though Davies caught him out slightly.
That one shot there shows the different lines he can take, but some work better than others, as you were saying. This is not the multi-class. Well, there are 2 classes, the Pro and the Pro-Am category, but they're not official classes. They're just different categories for the drivers, so that there's 2 title fights going on. And to separate them, the red, and they're on the red windscreen strips and the red on the timing tail on the left-hand side of your picture are the pros. The blue is the Pro-Am, so that's how they're separated.
Yeah, indeed, and not separated really by very much distance on the circuit. And we're looking at Adam McNally. He's running in 15th place, and he's up 6 positions from where he started in 21st. Pete Harrod is down from 12th, and McNally is now ahead of this group. And at the back of this one is Adam Hedgecock, who's been working very hard over the last year or so in this car to really improve his pace, and it's paying off extremely well indeed, with strong performances over the course of the season. Tim Stabani, the German, is just ahead of them as well in 14th. He's in the white and green liveried car. And bouncing over the chicane goes Harrod, as he tries to get some kind of traction and some kind of purchase in order to fight Adam McNally, as Cedric sets a new fastest lap of the race, 2 minutes 7.852.
I think that's the first time today at least in the race, that we've seen them get into the 2-minute 7s. Ross McFarlane also did a 2:07.9. Harris third and Thompson in 4th, lapping quite similar. Damien Harris did a 2:08.4 actually. Thompson was nearly half a second quicker, so that was a very decent lap by Thompson, and I wonder if he'll just be starting to get a little bit frustrated that he cannot get past Damien Harris in front of him. Ash Sutton has got a slow down penalty, looks like. And that's 2 places lost. Pete Newman through into 5th. Jason Cooper up another place. He's up into 6th place. Sutton now demoted to 7th.
I go a bit quiet. I do apologise. I think I'm losing my voice a little bit, which is always fun in games, isn't it? In the race 1 out of 3. But Josh Thompson, then, he's hunting down Damien Harris, but I don't know if he can do anything about it, because Harris started in 6th place. Thompson started 2nd. Harris's push is getting extremely effective here later on in the race. We know with this Audi TCR, Adam, from the races we did sort of last year, that it tends to improve sort of up to this point in the race, really, and this is the kind of point where it may potentially start to drop off a little bit. So Harris has obviously kept his tyres in very, very good condition, and that's why he's got the beating of Thompson at the moment.
But for how much longer? We still have just over 7 minutes to go here, and granted, it is one of the longer laps, so there obviously isn't going to be too many laps left, but in terms of time, we still have got the best part of 2/3 of this race still to go. Through the NGK chicane, the leaders go then. Is Thompson going to fancy a look at the inside into the Coca-Cola curve? Decides against it. He'll probably have a much better chance of getting by into the first corner, but he does go a bit wide through that final corner, which will slow him up just a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't get a very good exit, did he, Josh Thompson? And that's going to sort of arrest his momentum a little bit coming down the straight. But he's starting to pick the slipstream up again. He's just over 0.3 of a second behind Damien Harris. But as the great Murray Walker used to say, you don't need me to tell you the gap because you can see it with your own eyes. It's there on the screen. It's just one car length, possibly a little bit less. But and that means Thompson is pushing hard. Then McFarlane showing is going off the track slightly in his pursuit of Jack Sedgwick, which is not yielding at the moment. McFarlane is going to be potentially, Adam, slightly annoyed that he let Sedgwick through because, well, I didn't let him through, but that he allowed him through. Because really, he's got plenty of pace. He's sat right behind him. Look.
Race ones are tricky because we don't see too much in the way of a battle at the front. Maybe just one overtake or two overtakes is what settles it. So you really have got to make sure that if you do get the lead, you don't end up losing it. And Ross McFarlane is trying everything he can to get that lead back. Look how much he closed up under braking there into the Dunlop curve. The gap will pull out again to about 0.4 of a second. Here we go through the Schumacher S, taking a lot of outside curve, then brushing the inside, and then taking quite a bit of the inside curve on the right-hand side, and then a little bit more for good measure on the exit. This is a circuit where you really have got to use the curbs a lot, really. We know that from doing the 24 hours here. And this corner is very difficult to get right, sorry.
Cedric's car looks really good out of the slow stuff, and it seems like McFarlane's got slightly the beating of him in the fast corners, but Cedric's getting better traction. I wonder if, this will probably kibosh it here, but I wonder if we see the chicane. You can see the gap's 0.3 of a second exactly as they go into the braking zone. Let's see what it is coming out the other side, because it seems, actually that time McFarlane was very good through there, but the gap remains at 0.3 of a second. There's a big gaggle behind as well, Adam. It's looking like it's really closing up in the battle for third place and the final spot on the podium.
Well, Thompson's got by Harris now, hasn't he? So that's the one thing to take away from this. Is Harris going to want that podium position back? It looks like he might just do that if he's going to go for a late lunge up the inside, is he? No, he decides not to. Thompson, of course, very, very late on the brakes. He's notorious for that. And through the hairpin we go.
He can have a lunge there, especially on iRacing. It's a little bit slightly less risky on the sim than it would be, of course, in real life to have a go there. I remember, was it Dan Tictum who ended up like flipping someone over at that hairpin when we were there at the Sim Racing Expo? So if you have a bad lunge, then it can go especially wrong.
Saw quite a few overtaking manoeuvres there from the races we've seen at the Sim Racing Expo over the years.
Some good ones in the Blanc Pan as well when that was going.
Great place to sit, especially for the start of the race. But look in here,
you can see a lot of the track as well. You can see all the way up to the final corner. You can see all the arena section, and you can see even some of the sort of the run down to the Ford curve. Now, Ash Sutton, as he observes Jason Cooper going in and out of our mortal reality for a second there, as he's blinking in and out. And I can't see anything at the moment.
Sutton closing right up. Of course, he's in 7th place after serving that slowdown penalty, and he's at the moment on course for finishing outside the top 5, which we didn't often see from him in race 1, not unless he's been involved in some sort of crash anyway. This supports the qualifying being exceptionally close. Not too much. Oh, has he picked up another one? He has. Absolutely another slowdown penalty. That's going to allow Dave Baker through.
It didn't look like he missed it by too much, but it's obviously enough. Simmons and Hadfield going toe-to-toe as well in the background. SDK Gaming and the Automech car then coming out of the Coca-Cola curve. And it's Hadfield who, I think Simmons is the one who's moving forward in this race. He's gained 1 position. Hadfield has lost 2. And here's McNally, who's closed that gap up to Tim Stabani. He's having a look down the inside, and also that's Harrod. He was thinking about the outside line, Adam, and it may work because he may get one of them here. He possibly could get 2, but I think it'd be very unlikely.
See what he can do. Stabani up the inside. Harrod on the
Just might give them
outside.
the room.
Oh, he tries to get the cut back. He's trying to get the triple cut back almost here through this section of corners. Left, and another right.
Well, he got a great exit. He was risking a slowdown, wasn't he, potentially, but managed to get away with that one. So we've just got 2 minutes to go, Adam, so there'll just be one more lap to go at the end of this one.
On the run down to the hairpin, then we go. Luke Cooper here in 20th place. Behind him, Mark Woodhouse, who we saw both of these cars going off a bit further around the lap a couple of laps ago. And behind them, Jamie Rushworth, who's trying to get some of these positions back as well, looking for the rear of the Automech car, who is having to soak up quite a lot of pressure. That Audi of Woodhouse looks like it's seen better days, at least the front of it has anyway. The Audi badge is just about sticking on. To the left-hander we go. I don't think move around the outside's on, but Woodhouse looks like he might just try just that. That's well, there's not too much grip out there as he starts slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, and as the races go on, there'll be more and more marbles at the edge of the circuit. These tyres are fairly, reasonably durable, but can certainly be susceptible to some to getting a lot of dirt on them if you do run wide. As Rushworth is having another look, it's not gone that well for Jamie Rushworth in this race 1.
Of course, if you're new, there will be a reverse grid race for races 2 and 3, so stay tuned for us after the results for this one, because then we will set the grid for the second race of the day.
Yeah, and that will be the reverse grid wheel, so we'll see. That should be very, very good indeed. See what happens when that is spun. But for now, well, you've got looking at Kevin Carlisle and David Van Broek. So Carlisle has gained 13 places from where he started, and Van Broek is -1, and they've converged here on the circuit.
Off is Kevin Carlisle. It's not going to be totally the end of the world for him, because he has gained 11 places in this race so far, so a good solid performance from him.
Yeah, indeed. And sorry,
is Ross McFarlane in the lead, or is that just my timing screen playing tricks on me again?
no, I think he's in the lead.
Well, something's happened to Jack Sedgwick then over the last couple of minutes, because Ross McFarlane is back in front and he's got a 1 second advantage.
Yeah, and this is the last lap, so they've only got a handful of corners to go, which is unbelievable, really, considering what's happened. So poor old Sedgwick might end up losing the race on the final lap then. And oh wait, no, he's appeared again. He's blinking all over the shop. It will be Sedgwick, Adam.
Well, it's still McFarlane in front. I think that was a replay of what happened.
Oh,
It was a slowdown penalty in the chicane which they've just gone through on the previous lap. Here they come into the final corner.
here we go then, Ross McFarlane. There's a little bit of confusion. Looks like he's going to take the win here in the first race of the day in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. Look at that. Across the line for McFarlane, just by a couple of tenths, and Sedgwick is going to be absolutely furious.
Oh, he takes it out on McFarlane there. Yeah. Another
Simmons.
slowdown. Simmons this time. Well, I said at the beginning of the show that the old chicane...
Oh, what's this? It's run out of fuel, I think. The Harrod, I think.
Harrod and Stabani. Oh, it looked like Stabani was pushing him over the line just a little bit there. Yeah, Harrod. I think he did have drive in the car. I think that was just him downshifting through the gears. Here comes Mads Borger and Rob Graham. 2 cars that started towards the rear. Over the line goes Borger in 30th place. Rob Graham in 31st. 12 places gained after starting in last, I think. So good drive there by Rob.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, good job by Rob Graham. Very experienced. Bram Klaes. Oh, he's crossed the line. Did he get ahead of Roberts? I think he did. just about by 5/100ths of a second.
Yeah, also waiting on them. We've got Rob Jackson, Jake Blackwell, and Mark Johnston all still circulating at the moment on the circuit. They just need to take their checkered flag. Here comes Mark Johnston now. So he's going to be the last classified finisher with... Oh, and he's coming into the pits. Well,
I guess he'll still be last no matter what, so it's not going to really make a difference.
yeah, may as well.
He's going to cross the line on his way into the pits, so he might as well shorten the process for everybody, I suppose.
And across the line, yeah, in 41st place.
Oh dear. Oh, it's Melro. He's on the chat. Diogo Melro. Hello. No, that was a while ago, but just seeing that. Well, race 1 is concluded. And we will have 2 more races for you at the other side of the commercial break. But first of all, we've got the results on the screen.
Indeed, so Ross McFarlane takes the victory. Jack Sedgwick, we saw his frustration after the checkered flag, spinning Ross McFarlane out in the cool down lap as the cars come back to the pits. Josh Thompson completes the podium in the end. Damian Harris couldn't get by, he was half a second behind in 4th. Jason Cooper 5th, completing the top 5 there. And then it's Dave Baker, Pete Newman highest of the Pro-Am drivers, Ash Sutton in 8th, Michael Evdoka 9th, and completing the top 10, Adam Hadfield. 11th for Craig Williams, then it's George Simmons, Ben Palmer in 13th place, then Adam McNally, the second of the Pro-Am cars, and then Wojciech Savidovic from not setting a time in quali to finishing in 15th place. Pete Harrod 16th, then Tim Stabani in 17th, Adam Hedgecock in 18th place, and the top 20 completed by Nathan Davis and Luke Cooper. Mark Woodhouse behind the Automet car in 21st, then Tim Greven for Craig Setup Shop in 22nd, then Jamie Rushworth, 2 pro cars there. Matt Bunn 24th, didn't set a time in quali, but a good drive through the field there by Matt. Jack Stiles in 25th, then Michael Blake, David Von Broek, Lee Berridge for Boosted Sim Sport in 28th place, 29th for Kevin Carlisle and 30th for Mads Borger. Rob Graham 31st, then Rob Sutherland, Paolo Breto in 33rd, then Sean Gardner. Ross Balfour, he was with Wojciech Savidovic for a while, so I'm not too sure what befell the 518 car to be down there in the end. May have been a slowdown penalty, not totally sure what happened to him there. Bram Clace in 36th, then John Roberts, Kip Stevens in 38th, Jake Blackwell 39th and 40th for Mark Johnston. Rob Jackson in 41st place, the last classified finisher, and then the cars that didn't finish the race, just the 2, Tyler Vickery and Scott Malcolm.
All right, well, a good, well-behaved race it was in race 1 here at the Nurburgring, but now we've got to go over to Sam Kumo, who's going to spin the reverse grid wheel for us, and he's going to give us a pole sitter for race 2.
That's right, and the wheel is on your screen, so let's see what we get. Fortunately here it should be fairly straightforward because we have plenty of opportunities to overtake, so...
He says.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
it is 30, so we will be getting plenty of overtakes.
30 is Mads Borger, so he's going to be on pole for race 2 with Kevin Carlisle 2nd, Lee Berridge for David Von Broek in 4th, and Michael Blake in 5th.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll get that grid then when we return after the commercial break here on Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Esports Network. So please join us at the other side of the break for race 2. See you soon. Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship here with the Nurburgring GP circuit, and it's race 2 of the day. And I'm Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath and Sam Kumos on the cameras. And Adam, well, 30 cars reversed. We've got an unbelievable sort of grid set up here.
We really have, and just looking at that top 12 there are a lot of Pro-Am drivers, so quite a lot of them will be eager to get maybe their first win of the season, or maybe ever, in the ARLTC. Mats Borger Anderson will be hoping for that. He's starting on the pole, then it's Kevin Carlisle in second, then Lee Berridge, David Von Breck, Michael Blake, Michael Blake, I should say, completing the top 5, and the top 10 rounded up by Styles, Bunn, Rushworth, Grevin and Woodhouse, and some of the rest of the cars there are on your screen. Pick your favourites if they're outside the top 30. Wish them the best of luck, because here come the lights.
Here we go then. 5 red lights going on. The lights are off and the race is on. It's a terrible start by Anderson. It really was. Berridge has already taken the lead then into turn 1. Van Broek is alongside him as well. 2 teammates then into the first corner with Blake behind them in third. Styles on the inside. Bunn trying to go around the outside in the CQR Sim Sports car, but it looks like a good start for Boosted.
Oh, definitely. Boosted 1-2. Team Mad are trying to get on the act there. Michael Blake's made a fantastic start.
Oh, Woodhouse has been hit.
Oh yeah, he has. The Team Mad car in big trouble there, but one Team Mad car that isn't is Michael Blake, because he's up to second place.
Yeah, he is indeed. And Blake ploughing ahead then. He's trying to put pressure on Lee Berridge for the lead, but meanwhile, we're looking at Mats Borger Anderson, who had a terrible start. He really did. Didn't get away from the line very well at all. And he's now battling away with Tim Stabani, 9th and 10th for them. And so it's Berridge, Blake, Van Broek, Bunn, Styles, Grevin, Rushworth, Cooper, Borger Anderson and Stabani. And Stabani sending it into the Dunlop curve up the inside of Anderson. And it looks like he's got that one done. Anderson's been passed by Pete Harrod, so a great move there by Pete Harrod. Look at that mess in the back. Loads of cars going 3 or 4 wide, going up the hill towards the Schumacher S. There's Tim Grevin having a look, and as Anderson's off on the grass, just about manages to survive that one, but side by side then for Grevin and Styles. And Styles just about, I think, gets ahead, but he's going to be under severe pressure going into the chicane, Adam. He really is.
Oh yeah, this is a fantastic 3-car scrap between Grevin, Styles, and what have you. Going into the chicane we go then. Up the inside goes the Craig setup shop car of Tim Grevin. Boing over the curve there goes as Tim Stabani. Oh, and was that a straight on penalty? Oh, big, didn't me. There's a pile up in the chicane. That's
and round goes to one of the Simtech cars. I think it might be Rob Sutherland. Look at Paulo Preto, Brazilian. He's got a lot of fans out there. We see them every week on the chat. So hello if you're watching and supporting Paulo in the Fiercely Forward car. He's side by side with Rob Graham at the moment. Preto, who has had an up and down season so far. He's some good races, some bad races, but certainly is pushing on. And there is Jack Sedgwick, and he's going through on Damien Harris. Those two qualified in the top 5 in race 1, and Cedric chops across aggressively on Harris, and in order to keep that 23rd place, Adam.
Yeah,
that's got a damage on the front of the Audi. Oh, and Harris, what a move that is! Oh, what a cutback!
Well,
that's sensational driving in the arena section.
He did send it, didn't he? Oh, goes watch out for the CQR Club car on the outside there. That was Ben Palmer running especially wide, and this is almost a second clump of cars, because there was that pile up at the chicane, and that's really split the field in 2. So everybody outside the top 20 is in this scrap, and oh my goodness me, look at this. This is 2 by 2 by 2. It's up the inside. It's the SDK Gaming car there of Simmons, and everybody else under a blanket.
So Simmons, yeah, they are indeed. And T. Cozy separates them, as we used to say here on the channel. Oh, there's a crashing at the Schumacher S. Off goes Bunn. Bunn's going through the gravel, and he's back on, probably depositing a load of stones and crap and rubbish on the circuit. But now he's going to get passed by Sutton, who likes a dive. Savinovic hits Sutton. Oh, and there's the clash of the Titans there, and Savinovic went in a bit deep, I think, and he collected Ash Sutton, but Sutton gathers it all together. And now, but now he's going to have to defend from the reigning champion into the NGK chicane.
Yeah, I thought Bun was going to act as a mediator then between the two of them, but then they just completely
Oh,
disposed of him. Is he going to go up the
chopped
inside?
across. Bun's having a look. Bun's sending it into the chicane. We've missed it. But there goes Williams. Not Williams, Greven. And what's happened in the end, Adam, is that Bun, he sent it into the chicane. I imagine he ran wide because he's been now attacked by Simmons and by Adam Hadfield. So the Automate car's getting in and amongst it. McNally is now trying to take on Matt Bunn as well. Will he take on his own teammate, or is he just going to push him down the main straight? Well, he's going to have to leave off him soon because the corner is coming up. Greven, oh, and he almost gets hit by Rushworth. He may have even been hit by Rushworth.
Yeah, this is about a 12-car pack, I'd say, or maybe even more than that. All together, going through the arena section, the inside line is pretty crucial here, as Rushworth proves. I don't think that Craig setup shop car's going to be doing well there. He's hung up to dry. There's no grip on there.
Just nudged him, I think, on the way through. Did Rushworth, I think. But look at this. This is a battle and a half going towards the forward curve. And look at this. Wow, what an onboard shot. Ash Sutton's not one to shy away from the physicality out there. Greven and Harrod. Oh, take that.
Oh, Sutton nearly up the inside. There wasn't an overlap, and Greven, he is across like an arrow to defend from the champion. On the inside,
Ross Balfour's at the fastest lap in 40th place, apparently. But not sure about that. But here's well, we're on board with Svidovic. We're looking at this battle in front. Harrod, Hedgecock and Sutton immediately in front. And we've got Luke Cooper right behind us as well.
Watch out for Wodge. And he's going to send it up the inside into
Oh,
left.
wow.
Oh, off!
Oh, that's
Luke Cooper.
Luke Cooper, yeah, in the Automate car. And he went a long way into the tarmac runoff area, Adam. He's glad it was a tarmac runoff because he would have been in trouble otherwise.
Yeah, I think if that was gravel, the wheels would have dug in and flipped him over.
It's battle for the lead.
Up the inside, yeah, Michael Blake.
Oh, he nearly flipped it. Oh, around he goes. Oh, Michael Blake goes around. Oh, he's going to be devastated with that. And now he's going to have to wait an awfully long time, I reckon.
Well, he's got 12 seconds till the next
I would reverse that. I would 3-point turn that. You'll get back on quicker. But round the final corner, then that's Nathan Davies getting involved in the action with Mats Borger Anderson. And ahead of them, you've got Hadfield. In fact, that's the one to watch, isn't it? Evdoka, Hadfield and McNally. So they're going to go 3 wide down the main straight at him.
Oh, well, and not too far away for them. Jack Sedgwick's just putting a fast lap of the race. Rushworth's been tapped into a spin. You can see that in the foreground of the shot. And these two are still 3 wide into the corner.
Hadfield absolutely launched up the inside.
Oh,
That's Hedgecock. Oh, big one. Big crash. That was one of the Texas Pitsley cars, I believe, that's collected him. I'm not exactly sure who he was. He might have even been Ross McFarlane. I'm not sure. But Matt Bunn, yeah, his car is off and he might be out. Let's see. Oh, he dives on Roberts then. Big dive up the inside. And then he tries to go around the outside. Oh, there's contact. Yeah, you're not going to make it round the outside there, mate. 3 wide. I don't think you're going to quite get this. You won't be given the space. But there you go. It's off into the gravel at the back goes one of these CQR cars. I think that's Pete Newman dropping down the order. But there's in fact, it wasn't him. It was a CQR club car. I think it might be Jake Blackall who's had some problems. Oh, and there's Damien Harris, and
that's
who has
right
pointed out
anyway, is it?
Has pointed out he's not an independent anymore. But it doesn't change the fact that he's got a lot of damage, it appears. And that's, oh my word, that's Craig Williams. He's missing a rear wing.
I've got putting two and two together. I reckon it is a collision between Williams and Damien Harris.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
Between those two. Yeah, that rear boot is in. I hope nothing's in it because it's in danger of flying open.
I wouldn't put it past them. We know Williams is quite aggressive. Harris seems like he's hard charging. Look at the state. Look at the state of it. My goodness. We had Derek Warwick doing some stewarding the other day. It was like one of his old Vectrans.
Using it as a second spoiler almost. Oh,
Preto, what a move!
The waves parted, and the South American, the Brazilian, is up the inside. Oh,
He's missed the corner. No. Oh,
That's been thrown
Presto.
out.
That's all the good work gone. Oh, what a shame. As
Tell you what.
Harris and not Harris, sorry, that's Blackhall and
Yeah.
Williams continue to battle.
Tell
My
you what,
goodness.
having watched these Audis going through the arena section, I think I'm quite glad that we didn't have to do that when we did the 24-hour race at a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, can you imagine some of the idiots in the GT3s sending it in the arena section? They would have done.
Well,
Because I mean, I'm not sure about. I'm sure there were. This isn't tarring all GT3 drivers with the same brush, but we certainly had a few people who you could actually hear their brain cells rattling around in their skulls because there weren't very many of them.
cobwebs gathering in the skull, I think. Tim Stefani has got the lead. He's got past Lee Berridge, and Berridge is down to second place. He was able to dispose of one.
Oh,
Well
held.
that was a decent save from him there, putting his foot to the floor and bringing the car back around. That has helped Stefani just a little bit now. He's pulled out a 3/4 of a second lead, and Ash Sutton has arrived on the scene. And well, most of the time that only goes one way if you've got Ash Sutton behind you.
It does, but I think Sutton can. He's going to have to try and pick his spot here because you don't want to make a rash move and end up costing yourself points and potentially a race win. Because for that, if he does need the wild card, I don't know if he does or he doesn't, but maybe a good opportunity to get one. Also, Lee Berridge, I don't remember if he's won a race in the series before. He may not win this one though, as Sutton goes down the inside. Berridge tries to hang in there, but that's only going to have one outcome because he's sort of a half attempt to defend, wasn't it, Adam? And that's not really ever going to help you. But that means Harrod's up the inside. He wants the bubbly.
Onto the front straight we go then, and we're halfway towards deciding who is going to get their hands on it over the line, and Berridge just slightly moving across. Is he going to move across any more? Wojciech Savinovic might need to be careful here just in case these two start having a bit of a scrap. Up the inside goes Harrod, and that is a textbook manoeuvre. Through he goes. The CQR club car now up into the podium positions.
I think Savinovic thinks he can win this race, you know. You can tell by the body language of the car that he's I think he sees the opportunities. There's a bit of contact between Berridge and Harrod. Slows them both up, and in fact in turn slows Savinovic up, and he has to lift coming out of the arena section. Harrod, who started in 15th place, up into third. Berridge having a look for boosted. He's having a look up the inside. Savinovic, will he switch to the inside through Ford and the Horsteiner? Oh, it's not the Horsteiner curve, that one is a different one. But anyway, on the way down to Dunlop curve. Massively in the slipstream now, he pulls out, and you can't overtake around the outside of the Dunlop curve, Adam, but you can get a good exit and set someone up through the Schumacher S, and that's what he's about to do.
Yeah, remarkable exit there by Wojciech. Into the Schumacher S we go now.
But he can't see very well in the Schumacher S. That's the problem, isn't it? You follow a car very closely. We did that a few times. It's very difficult to see where you're going.
And that's even with no cars in front of you. Through the next series of S-bends we go. Now we're onto the back straight. This is the run towards the NGK chicane, where it is a major overtaking opportunity. But Wojciech Savinovic is now 0.2 of a second away. The gap is going to come down as he punches a hole in the air through the slipstream. I think he's not close enough to move up the inside. He might prove me wrong. No. He decides to slot behind, but as you can see, Berridge is taking a very defensive line, and that might mean he's under threat into the final corner, and Savinovic needs to be careful because here comes George Simmons. Simmons has proven over the years that he is pretty good at a touring car, so watch out for him onto the front straight.
Yeah, indeed, Simmons, very handy indeed, won several races on these Thursday night leagues. He's yet to win a championship, but you never know, one of these days it could work for him. The inside goes Savinovic then.
And there it is. That is 4th place for Wojciech Savinovic. Last time around, Tim Stefani was 0.6 of a second, or half a second slower than Ash Sutton, and with 6.5 minutes to go, the gap is 0.6 of a second between the German and the former British touring car champion. There it is. That is the gap. It's visible.
whoever was in the chat in the World GTs the other night, somebody asked who Ash Sutton was. Well, here he is. He's live and in colour. And Tim Stabani is a rally driver. He's well, he's going to have to stay on the tarmac. He's going to have to pretend it's the Tour de Corse or something, because he's going to have to attack it with all that vim and vigour that event brings in order to stay ahead of Ash Sutton.
Berridge
Look at this on the
Simmons.
outside. Oh, he's messed it up. He's gone in the gravel of Simmons, and that means Tim Greven is around. And, the Craig Setup Shop car then is right there, but I wonder if the damage is hindering Greven, you know, Adam, because he had a great run there, but it didn't seem to get any closer to Simmons.
Yeah, got quite a lot of damage to the front of that car. It's looking pretty crumpled, to say the least. That won't help him in the straight line speed stuff of the circuit. Great run by Simmons on the exit. Is he going to try and get past Berridge?
Oh.
People have tried and failed to do that. Look at Michael Blake earlier.
Lee's been defending hard in these last few laps. Simmons, I think he's going to have to try and cut him back and get him into the final corner. We've seen that move work in the past. Oh, Sutton's in front of Stabani. He's got to slow down. Slow down, Adam, and that's what's cost him the lead, unfortunately. It should have said, don't cut.
Oh, no. Well, he must have been pushing to keep Sutton behind him, and he must have taken a bit too much curve at the NGK chicane, and it means that
he might lose the public to Smidovic.
Yeah, he's down to 4th place now. Obviously, iRacing in the past have improved the amount of time lost with a slowdown penalty, but in this situation for Tim, it means he's and around.
Oh, that's McNally.
Reverse, and into first gear. Yeah.
Go power. Oh, McNally. Well, let's see. Up the inside. What happens? Does he get he gets quarter panelled. Oh, and he sacrifices that position. It's like I sacrificed £10 to him for a race that isn't going to happen, but never mind that.
Mark Woodhouse then. Here he is in 15th place. He's got Ross McFarlane, who I think was the guilty party in now. It was either him or Michael Evdoka, one of the two. And he's got a good run as Ross McFarlane, who, of course, was victorious in the opening race. He beat Jack Sedgwick to the win. Here he's fighting not over the win, but over a spot in the top 15 as he comes up the inside of Woodhouse. Wow, look at that. And we said that you can't get moves done around the outside, but Woodhouse was able to defend from McFarlane admirably there.
Yeah, well done there to Mark Woodhouse, Matt Sanderson then. And Ben Palmer. Palmer's pushing, and here comes Cooper. That is Luke Cooper, who is interested in this one as well. They might have been might have even rubbed wheel arches there, Adam, as they went through the Michelin curve.
Very close. Some good racing out here today, must be said. Some good overtakes and some good defensive driving. We're seeing some of it on display here as here comes Luke Cooper. He's on the comeback trail. We saw him have that massive off just a few corners ago on the previous, a couple of laps ago I should say, into the chicane. Someone takes a right amount of curve there. That looked like it was Matt's. Has he got a slowdown penalty though? It looks like he got away with it.
Anderson's kind of looked scrappy in this race. He's not really he's not had a clean one at all. What is this going on here? That's Tim Greven, that is Rushworth, Hadfield and Sedgwick, I think. This is the ARL Touring Car Championship on the iRacing Esports Network. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Sam Kumo bringing you all the action for Apex Racing TV. We hope you're enjoying it, thanks to the nearly 150 people who are watching us over the 3 platforms. We welcome you all, and we always enjoy your company on a Thursday evening. Please don't forget to subscribe to us. We've just hit 10,000 subscribers. We want to go for 20, of course. We want to go for more than that. But we need your help to do so. Click the notification bell as well in order to get the told when our videos go up, of course. As Rushworth doesn't need to be told that he's got Jack Sedgwick right behind him, one of the fastest drivers we've ever seen in these touring cars.
I bet Rushworth could wish he had a go faster button in his CQR club car, or I wonder if the bell might be ringing for his time being up in 8th place. We'll have to see. CQR Pure Sim, dear me. I'm getting so many CQR teams.
Did you call it?
What did I call it? I can't remember.
Team Sport. Oh, club,
Oh,
CQR club. Yeah.
yes,
Well, they always change the problem is they've always got lots of different names for the teams. They always change the livery. So one year one means one, yellow means one team, and then the next it means a different one.
well, at the moment, CQR Phil Sims, Jamie Rushworth is in 8th. He is teammates with Ash Sutton, who's leading the way. Other CQR teams in the race, a CQR club with Ben Palmer and a few others. And I think Matt Bunn, who does he drive for? He drives for CQR Sim Sports. There we go. Here we are.
Pete Harrod's less than 3/4 of a second behind Sutton at the moment, and he's got Wojciech Savinovic hustling him around as well. That's
And
the
we're about
battle
to start
for
the
the
final
lead.
lap.
Yeah.
See what the
Ultima
lap's on.
Giro, as they say in Italy.
Not sure what final lap is in German, off the top of my head.
It's probably, knowing your look, it's probably final lap.
George
It's
Simmons.
something Runda, isn't it? Runda is lap, I think. Don't know what I don't know what final is. But there you go. Simmons. Sam might not. I don't think he might be able to tell us. Simmons. Not Simmons. What am I on about? Sutton ahead of Harrod and then Savinovic, didn't he?
Simmons did put in a fastest lap of the race. That's probably why that name came to our heads, probably. But Sutton having to put up a bit of a defensive display here in the closing stages. Wojciech Savinovic is desperate to get by Pete Harrod. You did was your tip to win, potentially, and this CQR club car is definitely doing the boss proud here and keeping Wojciech at bay.
There you go, Adam. Runda. So there you go. Oh, look at this around the outside for Savinovic. If he can get it would be wonderbar indeed. And Ash Tung, I guess, is needed from the drivers. Oh, contact! Contact into the Dunlop curve. Oh, more contact. Savinovic pushing him. Oh, you don't see Wojciech Savinovic doing that very often, but he's desperate. Off! And Simmons off at one of the fastest parts of the course.
Well,
he's going to keep it on, but he's going to lose places.
Oh,
his engine's blown. Oh, no. That's a disaster on the final lap for Simmons.
If only this race was a bit longer, George, you could have waited for a bit and got the engine replaced. That's what I did.
What's going to happen at the front, though? This is it. Oh, he's right behind. Is it a cooling problem? Look, it's just gone, look. Maybe a cooling issue for Simmons. Anyway, into the NGK for the final time. Sutton leads. Harrod's in second, Savinovic is in third. Sutton only needs to negotiate the Coca-Cola curve then for the final time. And he's going to take the win, is he? In race 2 of the day at the Nurburgring in the ARLTC. Ash Sutton wins. That was a great battle at the end. Sutton did take the lead, but didn't run away, and guys behind fought very, very hard to try and wrestle the lead away from Ash Sutton, but he defended stoutly.
Great job by him. Great job by the top 4. In fact, they just in a bit of quick maths combined. They 13, 26, 48. They did about 50 overtakes between them, maybe even more than that. Here comes Michael Evdoka over the line. He's going to come home in 33rd place. Amazingly damaged front end to the Texense Fitztime Motorsport car. That car has definitely seen some better days. We know all about that.
Would you believe, Adam, that Simmons set the fastest lap? He was going so fast, that's why he blew his engine, no doubt.
It was very weird, wasn't it? It almost looked like he downshifted and then blew the engine. I'm really not too sure what befell him. He was bump drafting the car in front, as you were saying. Not too sure what happened to him. It might help him out a little bit.
The only thing I was going to check, which I can do now, check what the air temperature is. It's only 18 degrees, so we're going to see it again.
So he shifts up to 4th.
Oh, it's just struggling, and then it just dies. You can hear it going ying 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 against, like, almost against the limiter, but and then yeah, just box full of neutrals.
That sounds horrific, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's grating away. It's like, oh. Well, that's the end of his race, regardless, and it ended 1 lap down. I mean, he can potentially be put, I think. Did we say we had a 40? I think we might have a 40 on the wheel, but if that
have to wait and see how many.
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble.
if there's a few more cars than him that are one lap down, he might stand a chance of being in a shout with a reverse grid. And we'll be getting onto that in a minute, because here are the results. Ash Sutton drove very schnell to win race 2 by 0.2 of a second. Pete Harrod in second, and Wojciech Stawidowicz completing the top 3. Tim Stevani, the Germans almost went home happy with a German on the podium, but he finished in 4th in the end. Lee Berridge in 5th, highest Pro-Am driver. Adam Hadfield 6th, then Jamie Rushworth, Tim Greven in 8th, Jack Sedgwick 9th, and completing the top 10, Jason Cooper. 11th for Nathan Davies, then it's Jack Stiles in 12th, 13th for David Von Breck, then Ross McFarlane, 15th place for Mark Woodhouse. Mats Borger, the pole sitter, finished in 16th. And it's Ben Palmer, Josh Thompson in 18th place. If it's a small reverse grid, Josh Thompson might benefit from that. 19th place for Dave Baker and Luke Cooper in 20th. Mark Johnston in 21st place. Good drive there actually by Mark. 19 places gained. Not too many drivers have gained more than that in this second race today. So a solid effort there by the independent. 22nd for Adam McNally. Then it's Adam Hedgecock, Ross Balfour up 11 places to finish 24th. 25th for Jake Blackwell, then John Roberts, Kevin Carlisle, and then Rob Sutherland in 28th. One of the Simtech cars involved in something at the start. It may just have been him, but it didn't impact him too much. In fact, it might have been Bram Clace, not too sure. 29th for Michael Blake, and then 30th for Tyler Vickery. 31st place finish for Kip Stevens. Then Pete Newman in 32nd. Michael Evdoka, we saw his damaged front end of his TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport car come home in 33rd. 34th for Scott Malcolm. And Sean Gardner in 35th. Rob Graham and then Rob Jackson, 36th and 37th. Craig Williams in 38th with a really severely damaged rear end to his Audi. And then 39th place for George Simmons. There he is. In the end, he was not a lap down in the end. In fact, Paolo Preto finished behind him. So if it's a full -1, it will be George Simmons on the pole. And then Damien Harris 6 laps down, 7 laps down Matt Bunt, and then Bram Clace finishing 10 laps down. I'm not too sure how George Simmons finished 1 minute and 40 behind when he blew on the last lap.
I don't think he finished the race, you know. On my timing screen, he didn't finish the race. That's very, very strange indeed, but we will see. I'm not too sure, unless somebody pushed him over the line, which I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure. Who knows? Anyway, missed a couple of bubblies, Alex Nelly. You're a bit late, my friend. You've missed a couple of bubbly, but now a couple more. So there you go, just for you.
Yeah. Spamming the bubbly.
The bubbly. Bubbly. Sam has got the reverse grid wheel then, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes up for race 3.
Yeah, we do have 40, so it could be bigger. Also, we have 45, so we'll see. Let's get.
Is that German, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bubbly. Yeah, something like that. What do we got?
25.
25. And that looks like, I don't know what you've got, but I've got Jake Blackall.
It is, yeah. And then Ross Balfour second. And then row 2 is going to be made up of the Adams. It's Adam Hedgecock and then Adam McNally. And then Mark Johnston. After that solid performance in race 2, he's going to be rewarded with a top 5 spot on the grid for the final race.
Oh, he's in danger of coming in for an interview.
Well,
so there we go. We'll see how he gets on then. As George Simmons he's not very happy. I wouldn't be either, to be honest. After that, very unlucky for him. But please join us at the other side of the commercial break. We've still got one round to go tonight in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, and we'll see you guys at the other side of the adverts. Welcome back, everybody, to the Nurburgring for round 3 of the day in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with Sam Kumo bringing you all the beautiful pictures from this great circuit. Adam, this is a place we've been a few times, as we said at the top of the show, but I always love coming there. It's a terrific track. You know, the Sim Racing Expo when it's on is a great place to go, and you know, I'd urge anyone to go there.
Oh yeah, I think we've had different climates every time we've been there too. We've got the winter jackets out. I think last year we had the summer gear out. It's got its own microclimate, and we've loved all the action that we've got here today.
I remember this scenic camera shot. Sorry, mate. We were stood, weren't we, at the top of this little grass verge, looking down at the chicane one year, and you couldn't see for the fog. It was that bad. We were 30 yards away and we couldn't see. There we go. Jake Blackall's on pole position for round 3 of the day.
Go.
We're away in the Nurburgring then. Blackall gets away pretty well from the start. Ross Balfour's alongside him. Can Blackall break late enough to take the lead, to retain the lead through the complex on lap 1? He might be able to, Adam, if he can just stay along the inside. He's got 2 left-handers coming up, but Balfour's on the outside line.
Up to the left-hander we go then. Blackall at the inside. Balfour, the next corner is a right-hander, so it will go in his favour, but Blackall leaves the door for just a little bit,
brilliant.
and they're going to go at it again into the forward curve. I can't call who's going to come out on top here.
Yeah, this is brilliant stuff. As they're side by side in the first lap, the Australian and the Northern Irishman. Watch out, because there might be a slight net code, we'll see, with the Australian. Blackall round the outside, they're still side by side. Adam, half a lap at the beginning of the race, where they are so close.
Oh, Master V Alonso, eat your heart out. On the brakes, into the Dunlop curve, and now Balfour does take the lead. I think Blackall would be very optimistic if he tried to hold it out around the outside there. And Ross Balfour...
Stabani's in the gravel at the Dunlop curve.
Finished 4th in race 2.
Back of the shot, yeah. As they stream through the Schumacher S. Brilliant speed there. As Wojciech Svidovic goes and gains a place, Ben Palmer also gains a place as well. He's up to 8th, and now he's up to 7th as McNally's dropping down the order. What's happened to Adam McNally? I imagine that might be a slowdown penalty. I wonder if he cut the Schumacher S. Also, Palmer is slowing down as well, and there's another one on the inside as well, which I believe is possibly Styles, who has another slowdown penalty as well.
Well, a flurry of slowdowns in the early going.
They've said they cut the course, they'll have to slow down and give up the time.
Yeah. I don't think we didn't have too many of them in the 24 hours. We did get.
There goes a SDK Gaming car round. That's Carlisle. There's a big crash. That's Stabani and Simmons.
Well, from blown engine to blown hopes of a top 20 maybe for Simmons, he might have to
blow the engine as well.
Well, it was a good thing he didn't get stuck together with someone. He's got his work cut out for the rest of this with a lot of damage to the front end of that car. But the first lap is in the books then, and it's Balfour that leads from Blackall, Hedgecock, Baker.
Somebody's flying into the first corner. I think that's Jack Styles trying to make up for that slowdown penalty. Michael O'Donkey sees his teammate just behind them in the group behind. Harrod, he's having a look up the inside into the arena section. Oh, Bosch. Bit of contact there with Berridge. This is a battle that happened in race 2, wasn't it? Harrod versus Berridge.
It's resumed here in the final race of the day. Into the full curve they go then, and it's about a half dozen scrap. Look at this. This is over a spot in the top 15. Nathan Davies against a former colleague of his in Wojciech Svidovic. These two raced together back in about 2015 and 2016. And also there is number 33. That's Jamie Rushworth with the purple mirrors. CQR Pure Sims going around the outside of the Dunlop curve. That might just work out. You know, he's alongside Davies.
So in the background, the shot as well. Ash Sutton making a place on Adam Hadfield as Davis. Davis isn't going to give in lightly though, Adam. We've all raced against Nathan and we've all commentated on him quite a lot. And he will not go quietly into the night or whatever it is. Oh, slowdowns, I think, ahead. Oh, crash! And that's Ivdoka. Oh, it's Styles. Styles off. He's been hit, and I think Simmons has got into some argy-bargy. Oh, sorry, Carlisle has got into some argy-bargy, possibly with Kip Stevens. And on the way into the NGK chicane then, this is crazy. Sedgwick is in this battle as well, ahead of McNally. Savinovic wants to try and make some progress. He's up the inside into the final corner. Sedgwick drifting the car as Savinovic hits McNally. And it's all kicking off on the in the final sector. Josh Thompson sets the fastest lap.
2:87. That was 3 tenths quicker than Ross Balfour at the front. He's got three cars between he and the race leader. As here comes Wojciech up the inside of Adam McNally. Late on the brakes, he almost hits Jack Sedgwick. He's missed his braking point as the reigning champion. And
a
Adam
couple of
McNally
them going off. A couple of them going wide as well. That's Mats Borger Anderson and Tim Griven's getting in on the act now with Ivdoka. Behind Ivdoka is Harrod. Behind Harrod is Woodhouse. Up the inside of Woodhouse is Adam Hatfield. It's all going. This is probably the best battle on the circuit, although it is looking good for third because Josh Thompson, Adam Hedgecock, that's fourth, isn't it? They're looking like they're very close together indeed as Hedgecock tries to attack the Craig setup shop car. Let's see if he can do it into the hairpin. And that is actually Shorter McFarlane defending from, well, it's not McFarlane, sorry, he is in front of this group, but it's Cooper versus Johnston. There we go.
Johnston getting involved in the elbows between he and Cooper there. It's Luke Cooper up in 7th. He's doing pretty well here in the final race of the day after going off at this very corner in race 2. He did fight back to get a solid result as well. And he's got Ross McFarlane right in front of him. Ross McFarlane, who won race 1. He beat Jack Sedgwick late on to get that victory. And as things stand, he could be on course for potentially another top 5 here if he can close the gap to Adam Hedgecock in front, which is 2 seconds.
Balfour from Northern Ireland leads the way over Jake Blackall. Dave Bakes in 3rd, Josh Thompson's 4th, Adam Hedgecock in 5th. And then it's the driver you see on the screen, Ross McFarlane, who started in 12th place. He's gained quite several places, 6 of them in fact. Wojciech Savinovic started in 23rd place, he's up to 12th. Michael Evdoka's the other massive gainer as well, 33rd place to 16th for him. And here he is contemplating an outside move there on David Van Broek, but he's not able to do it this time.
Third on penalty for somebody as well. Looked like it
Cooper?
might have been Cooper. Yeah, number 3 it was that was going very slow. Here's a pretty long train. And Pete Newman is right in the thick of it. He could be trying to get by the car in front who's defending. And we're looking on board here with John Roberts into the first corner.
Yeah, Roberts has got his mirrors full of Damien Harris, and he's got his windscreen full of Pete Newman and Mats Borger Anderson. And there's Newman having a look. Oh,
door closed there.
Oh, and that must be Harris up the inside of us, on the left.
On board with him. Roberts is somewhere to our right, I think.
Oh,
there he is.
Oh, he's going to quarter panel him, John. Be careful. Oh dear. Harris.
Through.
Harris gave the space, and he is through. Roberts seemed to lose his bearings slightly going into the forward curve, but he got away with it. A slow down for Rushworth. Then in the background, it looks like. Is that Rushworth? Yeah, it is. Oh, who's that? Completely out of control. It's Michael Blake.
Poor Michael. This evening could have been so different for him if it wasn't for the collision with Lee Berridge early on in race 2, which was over the fight for the lead. And here he is down in what, 26th place in race 3.
Yeah, and I mean, he is 3 places up from where he started in 29, so he's making progress. Damien Harris has made 17 places where he started as well. He's looking up the inside of Anderson into the Vorsteiner curve. But he doesn't get it done this time. Oh, at the chicane, look at this, it's Sedgwick, and that can only be Mark Johnston. Terrific battling all the way through the field today, Adam. It's been great.
Oh, we've seen some fantastic overtakes. Many drivers fighting their way through the field.
Including at the front, actually, because Jake Blackall just set the fastest lap, and he's now got within 4 tenths of Ross Balfour.
And Ross Balfour's and Jake Blackall's only half a second or so ahead of Dave Baker. Up the inside goes Jack Sedgwick. through he goes on Luke
Nice.
Cooper. And that was a brilliant move into 7th place. 10 places gained for the runner-up from race 1.
Yeah, clean move there. And that's up into 7th for Sedgwick. Cooper 8th, Palmer 9th, Johnston 10th. You can see them on the screen. Doka's dropping down the order, and Sutton's got past him, and as has Woodhouse. And Pete Harrod's going through as well. So problems there for Evdoka. I wonder if is that. Oh, there's more. There's problems there, and that's Lee Berridge in the wall. I think. No, it's not Berridge. It's Sean Gardner.
There we go. Has Jamie Rushworth got a part to play in this? He's at the moment it's in front of him.
Yeah, it's Scott. Is it Scott Malcolm?
Oh.
55? No, that's Rob Graham, isn't it? Oh no, it's Skip Stevens. I'll get the right ultimate car in a minute. Skip Stevens and Sean Gardner then coming to blows. Skip Stevens, a 2-time champion, kind of languishing around in the 30s in this race meeting. No, it's not been massively kind to him. He usually does well in the reverse grid races though, Kip, doesn't he, Adam? And he hasn't had the chance to shine in one of those yet.
No, he'll be hoping for better things next time when we go to Sonoma. Been a while since we've been there.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one. See if anyone gets put in the pit lane.
Looks like it's going to be the cup layout as well, so we're not going to be using the carousel, the infield section there, so it's going to be fast and furious around that circuit this time next week.
Sorry, there was a Blackhall was a bit compromised into the chicane, and Baker, I think, hits him. You see the dents on the back of the CQR club car, then the CQR Pure Sim car of Baker, and then the Craig Taub Shop car of Thompson. So this is the top 4. This is the fight for the podium.
There's an Audi-shaped hole in the back of Jake Blackhall's car.
It's almost like the Kool-Aid man running through a wall, isn't it? Oh yeah! And then comes Thompson. He'll be saying, "Oh yeah!" Oh, he'll be saying, "Oh no," because he's hit Jake Blackhall. And if anybody's, I say this every week, but if he had, oh dear me, he's got no luck at all, Jake Blackhall. Even when nothing happens to him, you can guarantee that if someone loses their braking just like that, then he's going to be the one that gets collected. Off goes Cooper. Luke Cooper's lost a place to Ben Palmer.
Well, Thompson's eyes lit up there, and he thought 2 for the price of 1, and then he collided with the Aussie, which rejected that idea, and now Thompson's back where he started in 4th place. He's going to have to regroup with 9 minutes to go.
I think he thought 1 for the price of 1. Got it completely wrong. Did Thompson? Well, never mind.
We buy one, get one. Yeah.
It was like buy one, get a punch for your problems. Ross Balfour, though, this is great news for him, Adam. Great news because it's 2.4 seconds is now his advantage in the independent core motorsports car. Oh, and there's a crash there, and that's Michael Blake and John Roberts who are in the grass, and that is at the Ford curve, Adam.
Yeah, we've stood there. Let's have a look and see what happened on the replay then. Michael Blake's 2 cars in front of us.
They're going to find someone else's accident. Oh yeah, they are. Who's that? Who's that getting absolutely pelted into the inside wall? Tyler Vickery.
Tyler Vickery,
Tyler Vickery, yeah. Whose car is toast, really. That is knackered.
Yeah, it's stuck to the wall.
Yeah. Beached. And that's a very slowly moving Damien Harris as well. Is that right rear? That right rear doesn't look good, Adam. The right rear looks like it's on the... Of course it's on the floor, but it looks like it's very, very low down. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
Looks like it might have prepared itself now, but there's definitely rear end damage. That boost isn't looking too good.
Look, he must have suspension damage. Should we go on? Can we go on board and see if he's pointing in the right direction?
Oh yeah, he's
having to steer to the right. Look.
Yeah.
So I think one of the rear wheels is knackered. As Cedric sets the fastest. Oh, what's happened to Josh Thompson? Is he dropping down? No, he's not. It's all right. It's a glitch. We're all good. Dear me. Don't worry, Josh Thompson fans, if there are any.
Is good news for Simtech fans, and it's Rob Sutherland.
Poor Josh. I'm sorry, Josh.
Well,
it's an easy target. That's the problem.
If Josh Thompson was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on Wednesday, he'd have won £1 million. Well, he should have done. It was the answer to his question. The Isle of Man. Through the arena section we go. Look at here, Rob Sutherland, who has got Matt Bunn in front of him and Paolo Preto behind him.
That'd be a horrible question to get wrong if you're actually from the island, man, wouldn't it? Dear me. Preto is a Brazilian, and well, he's trying to get on terms with Rob Sutherland, who's up 3 places from where he started. Preto started in 40th, so that's a good run for him. Matt Bunn, oh, and he's up the inside. Sutherland goes a bit wide. Oh. And he just about, oh dear, as he just about gets, the screen is going crazy. There we go. Oh, what's this? It's Anderson and Carlisle.
Preto, the silver, what looks like lion on the side of the car, will be very happy with that. There it is, you can see.
Very nice looking car.
Yeah,
It reminds me of the Adam Morgan Mercedes livery. You know, the Wix, was it the Wix one?
Oh yeah, well, Rob Austin had the Wix livery as well on his Audi, didn't he, as well?
Ah.
Well,
Yeah, it was the yellow. It was when Morgan was in. I don't know if he still is in the Merc, but it was when he was in the Merc.
Mm.
I remember that one. That looks good, and that reminds me of that fiercely forward car, which looks very good indeed. And here's Adam McNally then, and he started in 4th, so he's not had the finest day out there on the Nurburgring circuit. However, still time to finish in the top 10 if he can stave off Mark Johnston or Wojciech Savinovic or Nathan Davis. I tell you what, he might have spoken too soon on that one. Johnston dives up the inside, Davies dives on Savinovic. McNally goes wheel to wheel with him. McNally stays ahead. Now is Savinovic going to capitalise on him? I think he is. He's going to go for it.
Oh, it's very difficult to get an overtake here.
Oh, Johnston's squeezing him.
Savinovic
is sideways.
And now here comes Nathan Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, there's enough space given. Just.
Gonna be dodgy. Davis loses it on the grass. He's sideways.
And Wojciech's up the inside of Johnston.
Oh, slides the car all over the place.
Backing it in like a MotoGP bike or something.
It was indeed. Oh, I've got no pictures. Adam, you might have to take this one.
Okay, 3.5 minutes to go then. And Dave Baker here is currently holding on to 2nd place and a little bit of the bubbly as well. So too is Jake Blackwell in 3rd. Josh Thompson is eager to gate crash that late on. So too is Ross McFarlane, who sits in P5. So this fight for the silver medal is by no means over, with just a couple of laps to go. As things stand, Ross Balfour's 3 seconds up the road and is on course for, well, a highly likely 3rd race victory here at the Nurburgring. But it's all up for grabs in terms of 2nd, and it's all 4 different teams. CQR Pure Sims with Dave Baker, CQR Club with Jake Blackpool, Craig Setup Shop with Josh Thompson, and TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport with Ross McFarlane. So each team will be gunning on their man as they go for the final corner now to complete another lap.
Yeah, indeed. I've lost pictures, I'm afraid.
That's a shame.
Completely lost it. I've lost everything, so I'm afraid can't see a thing.
The goggles do nothing. Right goes Jake Blackwell. That's into the first corner. He's not close enough to stop Dave Baker in 2nd place. Got a decent scrap on our hands here for P15 and P16. Woodhouse and David Von Breck also in there. Ash Sutton, Michael Avdoka and Pete Newman also in there too as we get on the brakes. TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport car, the inside of Ash Sutton. Don't often see Sutton get overtaken, and that is David Von Breck going to get nudged out wide. And they all meet together in the arena section, and Sutton has to go wide. Has he broken something on the car, or is he just regrouping after that little bit of contact? It looks like he's still pointing in a straight line, but that's a shame for Sutton. He's going to have to regroup and go at them again. That's not going to take long, because as we can see from on board with the former BTCC champion, they are all still right together. Pete Newman in front of us now going into the forward curve. He blocks the inside. Sutton going for a late entry, aiming to try and get a decent run and maybe get by the CQR SimSports car into the Dunlop curve. Let's see if he can. No way through there. All pretty much line astern. Is Sutton going to prise the door open? He really closes up to the back of Newman, but just can't prise it open to get by. Just over 1 minute to go, so we get to the line. Oh, Newman's going for an overtake in the Schumacher S. I don't think we've seen one there all day. Nearly ends in a mess for him there. Through Warsteiner curve, heading towards the NGK chicane. When we get to the line, we'll be getting the white flag here for the final lap of the evening in ARLTC at the Nurburgring.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic evening's racing. We've seen some great action out there on the circuit, some great overtaking. But who's going to take this this final race? Looks like it's going to be Balfour, but who knows?
Well, Newman's just collided with David Van Breck at the NGK chicane, and that's a massive shame for the Belgian. Belgium's not too far away from here in the Nurburgring, so he'll be treating that as a home race. Pete Newman's done for as well. I'm not too sure what's befell Newman. He obviously collided with David Van Breck. I think he was waiting for David Van Breck to come back by, so I think that might have been good sportsmanship there by Pete Newman, who's carrying a cone with him for good measure. Final lap of the race then, who's going to get second? David Baker versus Jake Blackwell versus Josh Thompson. Here they all are. Ross McFarlane in fifth is an outside chance as well. And as Woody was saying, a brilliant Thursday's worth of action here at the Nurburgring. We hope this carries on at Sonoma next week as we get closer and closer to the showdown. After Sonoma, we've only got 2 more races at Lime Rock Park and Watkins Glen before we reset the field for the 4-week-long showdown to decide the champion here. Dave Baker looks like he's got it all in check though at the moment. 6/10 of a second in hand over Blackwell. But is Thompson gonna fancy his chances of getting third spot? He had a good race 1, did Josh. Race 2, of course, he had to fight through the field. He was handed a solid reverse grid here in race 3. He's only had to gain 4 places to be in with a shout of a spot on the rostrum. And if he's going to make a move, it's going to have to be into the chicane. Or is it? Oh, he nearly goes up the inside into the Vorsteiner curve. Haven't seen too many overtakes happening there either. That might have just cost him a chance of going for third into the NGK chicane, because now Ross McFarlane has arrived on the scene. And he might be able to go around the outside under braking. Into the final chicane we go. Thompson's late on the brakes, so too's McFarlane. McFarlane might just do it. He gets forced across the curbs. That will almost certainly be a slowdown penalty. Ross Balfour's going to come across the line though to take the victory here. He was pushed hard in the early going, but after a bit of contact to the front, he never looks back. And he's going to win the final race of the day here. Second is going to go to Baker. Third for Blackwell. Fourth for Thompson. Fifth for Jack Sedgwick, whoever takes Ross McFarlane. We've got a slowdown penalty right at the very end there. And then the top 10 is going to be completed by Palmer, Hedgecock, Cooper, and Adam McNally in 10th place, who's just going to come home ahead of Wojciech Savinovic.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for McFarlane. He tried everything he could to go around the outside, but yeah, Thompson, he had the high ground, and as he said, pushed him over the curbs. Slowdown penalty, and and there we've seen Nathan Davies off the road on the final lap. I don't know what's happened to him. I'm on a slight delay, but he's just going to. Well, he's just going to come into the pits. He's not going to cross the line. That's a bit strange.
Well, to bookend the evening, in race 1 we saw Mark Johnston come into the pits, a bright green car, and then we see another green car come into the pits right at the very end with Nathan Davis.
I don't think you got the paints on. I think they changed to a white car this
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I didn't do it. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We could see them coming and avoid that. You see, all the other drivers could see them coming and avoid them last week. But
there you go.
not so much this week. Right, we're going to go on to the results in a moment. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just waiting.
We're just waiting for someone to finish. Yes.
And here he is.
Yeah, I do apologise, everybody. My iRacing crashed completely, so it kicked me out completely. So I've had to put the YouTube stream on for the last couple of minutes. But yeah.
Here comes P. Harrod, 2-time Club Series champion, a series that was run on a Sunday night a couple of years ago in the Kia Optima. Did pretty well there.
And you know what? We at one, but you know what? A lot of these drivers, fair few of them competed in that series, and they've gone on to really be great contenders in this championship as well.
Yeah, Harrod was running at the front in race 2, in fact. Battling with the likes of Sutton. Line goes Harrod, finishes in 38th place, and that is everybody done for another week of ARLTC action. We are very quickly running out of time, so let's bring you the finishing order. Ross Balfour wins, 2.8 seconds ahead of Dave Baker in the end. The second behind was Jake Blackwell. Thompson gets 4th, Jack Sedgwick getting 5th place in the end, with Ross McFarlane having served the slowdown penalty very late on, coming home in 6th place. Ben Palmer, 7th. Adam Hedgecock, highest AM driver. That's 3 different AM drivers coming home top across the 3 races. Then it's Luke Cooper and Adam McNally completing the top 10. Wojciech Savidovic, not often that he doesn't get a race victory in a race meeting in the ARLTC, and he didn't today. He finished 11th. Mark Johnston 12th. Jason Cooper 13th. Then Michael Evdoka, Bash Sutton 15th. 16th for Mark Woodhouse. Then Kevin Carlisle and David Von Breck in 18th. 19th place for Pete Newman. Then Matt Bunn in 20th. Then Paolo Breto, Jack Stiles, Rob Graham, Rob Sutherland, Craig Williams, Lee Berridge, Jamie Rushworth and Michael Blake in 28th place. Completing the top 30, Sean Gardner and Tim Greven. Then it's Bram Clace, Scott Malcolm, Nathan Davis coming into the pits late on. He finished 34th. Kip Stevens 35th. Then Adam Hadfield, Damien Harris. With that damage, we saw the car crabbing towards the end. Pete Harrod 1 lap down in the end. He finished 38th. And towards the rear of the field, we got the likes of Mads Borger. Then George Simmons, Tyler Vickery, we saw parked up against the wall. Tim Stabani, the German, finished 4th in race 2. Things didn't go too well for him here in race 3. And at the back, at the end of another thrilling week's worth of action in the RLTC, it is Rob Jackson for Simtech Racing.
Yeah, and I will say I thought it was a very, very well driven race. There wasn't a lot of race meeting, in fact. 3 races, barely any incidents to note. Yeah, I thought it was very, very well done indeed. We are out of time tonight, everybody, and it doesn't seem like anybody's going to join us. So we will bid you a fond farewell. But yeah, in 1 week's time, we will be back for the race at Sonoma in the United States. So we're looking forward to that one. But for now, on the iRacing Esports Network, from Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath, and from Sam Kumo, it's a very good night from the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship.